The benefits of delegation. That was a discussion I began at the last episode of Leaders Arise. Welcome to today's episode of Leaders Arise. My name is Demola Awoyele, and I want to say thank you for being a part of today's broadcast. Over the past couple of episodes, we have been discussing the power of delegation. We have looked at why delegation, the how to delegation, who to delegate to, then of course, last episode we began by looking at the benefits or the importance of delegation. At the last episode, I mentioned one major benefit of delegation, which is the fact that it preserves your energy and health. One consequence of not delegating is the stress that you accumulate unnecessarily. Some leaders die young. Some leaders, do not enjoy their health because they put too much on their own plates. And that's why being a secure leader is important. Some leaders feel they have to do everything to prove that I am the leader. That is why they appointed me, or that's why they are paying me. All right, I have to do everything to show to people that I can do it all alone. The truth of the matter is you cannot do it all alone. Some say, I can do everything because I want to take all the glory. Sadly, a lot of leaders are operating with that mindset. They want to take all the glory. They don't want other people to share in their glories. They want to do it all alone. But the truth of the matter is, you cannot do it all alone. And that's why we want to encourage you to listen to these benefits, or what I say, importance of delegation. Maybe that will provide you a motivation to bring delegation into your leadership endeavor. So today, let's look at the second benefit of delegation, which is this. Delegation frees you for higher things. Delegation frees you for higher things. But one of the reasons why a lot of leaders do not delegate is the fact that they don't know that there are deeper, greater things to do with their lives. The truth of the matter is, the more you keep yourself on a task without delegating it, the more you are keeping yourself stuck at a level. So delegation helps you to be free enough to do other things. There are some leaders who are grappling with some things today that they are supposed to have passed. I don't know how to explain it, but some people they keep grappling with the things that normally they should not grapple with again. Because at the level that they are at, they are not supposed to be doing the thing that they are doing at the moment. And that's what some of them don't know. So if you keep yourself doing the same thing that should have passed to somebody else, you have just got stuck as far as your leadership endeavor is concerned. You will not be able to move onto higher grounds. And that's one motivation or benefit or advice I want to give you. Do you want to move up? Do you want to step onto greater things or higher things? Then you must learn the power of delegation. So delegation frees you. If your hands are too tight with some task, you won't be able to move to important task. And that's why one way to get promoted in leadership is to find a replacement for your present position. One way to get promoted in leadership is to find a replacement for your present position. For example, if you are working in a company, I normally tell our folks in church that always work yourself out of the job by bringing somebody else that can take your place. That should not be a threat to your leadership. That should actually be an advantage, because you cannot leave that job unless you have provided or prepared somebody that can take that job. And you don't do that overnight. You do that by constantly and consistently delegating to other people. That's the reason for assistants. Some people's assistants are redundant. I don't know if you get my point. The reason for assistants is delegation. So when you have an assistant as a pastor, assistant as a as a manager, you have assistant as a choir leader, you have an assistant as a proprietor, as a headmaster, whatever. Just know that they have just given you that person to whom you can delegate. And listen to me, if they are looking for somebody to occupy a higher position, if you have delegated well enough to your assistant, it doesn't have to be your assistant. I'm just using that assistant as an example. You can be freed to move up. So the danger of not delegating is the danger of being stuck. You just remain at the same level. Some pastors should have entered into the apostolic dimension of their ministry, but they have refused to delegate, so they still remain local church pastor. They have this idea that, I cannot leave the church. An apostolic pastor will have to leave the church, especially when you start branching. You will discover that you will have to leave the present church you are pastoring and move around some of those branches sometimes. It may not even be branch. It could be an apostolic dimension of your ministry that will involve you moving to other locations. But if you have not delegated, you will not be free enough to make such moves. Can I talk to such a pastor again? I said some pastors should have moved from the pastoral side of their calling to the apostolic side. But the problem is that they don't delegate. So they are still stuck with the present church. All right? They are still the one that runs everything. They are still stuck. They can move up and all of that. I am not saying that everybody has to move up. Or even if you don't move up into apostolic ministry, you don't travel and there are some tasks you should have given up so that you can move to something else. Now, the truth of the matter is, if your plate is still full, you can't receive new assignments. If your plate is still full, you can't receive new assignment. That means God can't give you a new assignment if you have not emptied the present plate of assignment that you have. You empty it by fulfilling it, you empty it by delegating it. So when you see leaders that delegate assignment, task, and what have you to other people, they are just freeing themselves for greater works. They are just freeing themselves to deeper works. So delegation is your secret to promotion. Delegation is your secret to progress. The better you are at delegating, the better and the more you are going to progress. So not delegating is tantamount to being stuck. So let me give you this assignment. Look at the current task you are doing at the moment as a leader. Whether you are a housewife, are there some things you can hand over to your daughter? Are there some chores at home that she can handle on your behalf? Whether you are a husband, are there some tasks you can give to your wife or to your boy at home or whoever it is, so that you can be freed to do other things? If you are a pastor of a local church, are there some tasks you can give to some of these other brothers and sisters in church? They don't have to look pastoral. All right, I'm going to be discussing that in the next episode, that delegation produces new leaders. You won't know the leaders you have until you learn to find people to delegate to. So one of the things you must avoid is thinking that they are not leaders. Can you imagine yourself telling your child or your daughter at home that she cannot cook because she's not a wife? How can she become a wife? Or how can she learn to cook without being delegated to do it? Just imagine you saying your daughter cannot cook or should not cook because she's not a wife. She doesn't need to be a wife to cook. Somebody doesn't need to be a pastor to pastor or to be given the work of a pastor. You don't have to be that thing. So delegation produces new leaders, and that will be my focus at the next episode. But I'm telling you as a leader that the way to move up to new assignment, to better assignment, to greater assignment is to find your replacement. When your plate is still full or filled, there is no space for a new assignment. But when your plate is emptied, either by direct fulfillment of the assignment or by the wisdom of delegating to other people, your plate can be freed to receive new assignments. And remember, if you receive new assignments, then you are able to go up in leadership. You are able to move to higher dimensions of leadership and living. I hope today's episode has blessed you. We are looking at the benefit of delegation. We have looked at the fact that it preserves energy and health. Number two, which is our focus today, is that it frees you for greater assignment. Please go right there and put these nuggets to practice. Whatever it is you do, you can work at what I've spoken about today and work them into your practice. And I do hope and believe that you become better for it. In case you have questions, you have comments or feedback, I'm waiting to have them on the comment box. And of course, share this video wherever you can share it. Like our page, subscribe to our channel if you're on YouTube. Then of course, I look forward to having another episode with you. Go right there, succeed at delegating, and bye for now.